Thank you to Dreo for sponsoring this video.
So I'll find pretty much any excuse to have long, flowy hair, so no better opportunity to live that dream than testing the fan speed of a $600, very expensive fan from a well-known brand and putting up against the $300 Dreo Purifier Tower fan. See how they compare. Spoiler alert, save your money, go for the cheaper one.
Before I tell you everything that Dreo can do, let me thank you for being good, awesome human beings, supporting the channel all of these years. All the likes, thumbs up, and shares give you a chance to win not $100, but $500. All you gotta do, leave me a comment down below. Tell me where you would put your Dreo, what you would do with it. Tell me a fact about yourself, a dad joke. Just leave a comment with your social handle in it or a way to contact you on your YouTube page, and I let you know that you won your $500. Open to anyone in the world. Let it run for 10 days. All information, though, will be down in the description. There are two main things to take into account when looking at a product like this, or really any product from a company. For me, it's about performance and it's about design, especially if it's gonna be in my house. It's got to perform how it's supposed to, and it's gotta look good. And since this is always going to be out and be seen, the second part is a bit more important here. So, in that vein, meet my friend Dreo, the Purifier fan that delivers in all those areas. So this is a Purifier Tower fan. And if you're like, why does anybody need a Purifier Tower fan, John? When you have kids with really bad allergies, you need these in your house. When you have somebody who's an incredibly light sleeper and needs something to make white noise in your house, you also need one of these. So for me, we have one in pretty much every room of our home. Now what they're gonna do, it's gonna blow air to help keep you cool and also circulate that air. While it's doing it, it's going to purify said air, so you're gonna have a cleaner, healthier home.
And the benefit to using the Dreo over any of the other air purifiers in my home, this is going to circulate the air better, allow it to pull in and filter air from a much larger space. Hey guys, so future John here. You might notice my voice sounds a little raspier than usual. I've actually been battling pneumonia the past week, and it's kind of one thing to talk about air purifiers and why they're important, but it's definitely another thing to legitimately need them. I have 3 kids in my house and a wife that I was trying to keep from getting sick. The pneumonia came from bronchitis, and having an air purifier that I could count on to try to bring that gross stuff in, put out fresh air, was incredibly important. I was able to get through this. It's the best I felt now in almost 9 days without anybody else in my house getting sick. And it's never been a more ringing endorsement for why you need not only an air purifier, but a really good air purifier. It's that. Dreo, thank you. Now get back to the regular entertainment video.
So Dreo, who sponsored this video, was pretty confident in their product. They wanted us to compare it to a very recognizable competitor, which is obviously very well known. So let's put these two kind of together. So design, I think, is going to be subjective here. I think both of these obviously look great. You could probably argue are design sort of centric, design focused. Dreo makes a bunch of other stuff too, and if you go to their website and check it out, I'll link to it down below, you can tell there's a lot of design forward thinking here. I think the Dreo Purifier fan is something that I wouldn't mind having in my house all the time. It could easily fade into the background while it works without kind of drawing too much attention to itself. From a design standpoint, I think Dreo gets a check. This is actually the industry's first dual motor 2-in-1 purifier tower fan. So with these dual motors, you get separate control of both the fan and the purifier, so they can be operated independently. This differs tremendously from pretty much everybody else. You have to run both features. So if I just want like a gentle breeze, but I want to ensure I keep the clean air, I can keep the fan on low, but the purifier on high. That also means it can be more efficient. You don't have to run both at the same time. It is an absolutely killer feature that I think makes a ton of sense. Besides that, there's also ways to empirically test them and see how well they work. So the first thing I want to test is wind speed, and I'm going to do 2 tests to do it. One, very scientific. One, extremely not. It's a fan after all, so the more air it can push around, the better.
All right, so we're going to start this party off with a very unscientific test. We'll turn each fan up to their max and use the wig to see how much it blows my long flowy hair. All right, so the Dreo says the fan can go up to 12, but it does have a turbo mode and they can go higher. It does clearly a nice job of moving the air around and pushing my hair back a pretty good amount. The wind speed feels strong, but nothing like overpowering. All right, next let's try the competitor, which only goes to a 10 wind speed. Does a nice job as well. Take a look, it's not blowing the hair back nearly as much. All right, now for the more scientific part, we used a wind speed meter to test how much each fan was pushing air around. So on the Dreo, again set to its max speed, we're able to get around 22 feet per second. And when I took it to the competitor, the highest I got was around 13 feet per second. We also tested the decibel level of both, and you can see that both of these fans are on max, are outputting about the same level of sound. However, with the Dreo, you're getting those double fan speeds at the same volume as a competitor.
Now that was definitely not any facts I ever really considered about fans. I never got that empirical with them. I will say, when you're standing in front of them, you can definitely feel a difference and feel which one is pushing out more air. And we did kind of a scientific test. You can see the Dreo was pushing air, almost twice as fast as the competitor. And if you look at it, it looks, obviously it looks really cool, but there's like a big hole in the middle where that air is not being pushed around. So that's probably one big aspect of where the design is actually hindering the functionality. So on the purification side, the Dreo Purifier fan has true HEPA filtration with an H13 HEPA filter inside. It's going to capture 99.97% of particles larger than 0.3 micrometers in size. This means it can easily filter particles like pet hair, pollen, dust, mice, even types of bacteria. And this is all similar to the other fan, but that one does have a carbon filter built in to help with odors. But it's great to know that Dreo is reaching HEPA filtration levels. And you have full control of these features, things like fan speed and filtration levels, right on the fan itself. You can also do it through the Dreo app if you want. So here you've got control over every function of the Dreo Purifier fan. You can also integrate it, if you choose, with Alexa or Google to set up custom functions like auto on-off or setting it to different modes. Or if you want to use your voice, you could, for example, ask Google to turn on the fan and move air around. So kind of feature for feature, the Dreo Purifier fan has an advantage, but I think where Dreo seals the deal is with price. The Dreo Purifier fan comes in at $299, which is half the price of this fan. Like I said, I have 3 kids. One has horrible allergies. I have 2 pets in the house. Really careful about the air, especially when my son is sleeping. So having something like this that I know is going to filter the air, move the air around, and give sort of HEPA level filtration is really important. And honestly, there's no price that I wouldn't pay to reduce his allergies. Being able to get all those amazing things that traditionally are in a $600 range of air purifiers, you can go on Amazon, look for yourself, to get all of those for half the price is absolutely incredible. And to have my kid not have red eyes and a stuffy nose and feel horrible, that is absolutely worth any price. And I think when you compare what Dreo's doing to the competitor, everybody knows who the competitor is. I'm not saying the name, but I think everybody's pretty aware, rhymes with Schmeisen, that they do a really awesome job here as well. But you're getting that incredible filtration. You're getting that really powerful air moving, and a package that looks good for a fraction of the price is 100 out of 100 times a huge win. It also means that I can buy more of these to put around my house for what the cost of just one of those other guys would be. If you want to check out what Dreo's offering, they got a ton of awesome products. I got a link to them down below.